here we'll be evaluating the function. The problem statement says evaluate each function for the given value. So the first function that we have is f of x equals negative x squared minus 4x minus 2. So we'll be replacing this x with negative 3. Now this x corresponds to each of these x in the expression. So when we'll be replacing this x with negative 3, we'll be replacing each x in the expression with negative 3 as well. So we have negative and then negative 3 whole square within parentheses. Remember, this negative sign and this negative sign are separate. Minus 4 times negative 3. So you can see that we just replace this placeholder value with negative 3. Now we'll be evaluating this expression. So let's try to do this step by step. We have a minus sign over here, and then negative 3 whole square. Negative 3 times negative 3 is 9. Minus 4 times negative 3, that is negative 12. Minus 2. So now if you just get rid of these parentheses, negative 9 minus and negative would turn out to be a positive sign. Minus 2. So negative 9 plus 12 minus 2. So we just do the operation from left to the right. Negative 9 plus 12 is 3. 3 minus 2 is equal to 1. So f of negative 3 is 1. Here I'll just quickly show you how to plug this in the calculator, because oftentimes students mess up with plugging the values in the calculator. So we have this f of x expression, negative x squared minus 4x minus 2. So when we replace the x with negative 3, we make sure that we just put a parenthesis because the x is having a negative sign. So this is how you can get the answer 1. Just to make sure that you can double check this answer with your calculator, that you're getting the same answer. So the mistake that students make is they forget to put this negative sign, which can cause trouble and you get a different answer. So when you don't put parentheses, what happens is we put negative sign and then we have negative 3 squared minus 4 times negative 3 minus 2. So the mistake that happens here is these two negative signs would turn out to be a positive. So you have 3 squared that turns out to be a plus 9 instead of negative 9. And then you have 4 times negative 3, that is negative 12, and negative 12 with a minus sign would turn out to be plus 12 minus 2. So 9 plus 12 is 21. 21 minus 2, that is 19. Now this answer is incorrect. So you can see how the parenthesis is actually affecting the answer. So always make sure that for any negative value of x, we put a parenthesis in the expression. And also we put a parenthesis in the calculator to make sure that we get the correct answer. So the tip here is always put a parenthesis for any negative values of x. Perfect. Now let's try to work on the second problem. So for the second function, we have f of x equals negative 2 times absolute value of x minus 2 plus 1. So we'll be replacing this x with 1. So we have f of 1. That means this x is corresponding to this x. So negative 2 times absolute value of 1 minus 2 plus 1. So this absolute value is a grouping symbol, so we need to evaluate these first. So we have negative 2 times 1 minus 2 is negative 1. And absolute value of negative 1 is positive 1. So we have negative 2 times 1 plus 1. So negative 2 times 1 is negative 2 plus 1. It gives negative 1. So f of 1 is negative 1. Perfect. Okay, let's look at problem number 3 here. We have f of x equals negative 4x minus 4. So we'll be replacing this x with negative 3. So this x corresponds to this x. So that means we'll just replace this x with negative 3. So we have negative 4 times x, which is negative 3, minus 4. So negative 4 times negative 3, that is positive 12, minus 4, that is 8. So f of negative 3 for this function is positive 8. For number 4, we have f of x equals 3x plus 5. We'll be replacing x with 0. So substitute x with 0. 3 times 0 plus 5. 3 times 0 is 0. Plus 5, we get 5. So f of 0 is 5. Perfect.
And there you have it. Keep practicing this topic with our practice question set. That's it for this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Now let's get to study.